the hands and the body. So welcome everybody to this live stream. This is the first live stream about Djembe in my channel. There's gonna be a lot coming ahead, so keep tuned. Stay tuned for the news. The idea of this space is open a place of direct contact between me and the people that follow these channels. In general, I find a lot of questions in the comments of the videos that I publish on this channel. So I decided to open this space with two goals in mind. Have that conversation between people who are starting to learn to play the djembe, or people who are trying and maybe they're a little stuck or have questions about what to learn, how to do it, how to solve this issue or this other issue, and also to be a space in which we're gonna play a lot of music. So as I said, stay tuned, because in the future this kind of live stream is gonna happen weekly. So today is just a live lesson for beginners, for people who are starting to play the djembe from scratch. And also it's a Q&A session. What I mean is, if you're tuning in there, you bump into this video and want to ask questions about how to start playing djembe from scratch, you have the chat. Leave the question on the chat and I'm gonna read it aloud and try to answer. Yes. So, what can I say about this amazing drum and instrument that is the djembe? Yes. One thing for sure about the djembe is that you hit one hit of it and your mind flies musically right to Africa, because the sound of the djembe is pretty distinguishable. Yes, it's really sharp. It's different from another drums like the congas, that they sound a little warmer. This is like a really sharp and aggressive instrument. What I mean is, it's really loud and it has a really particular sound. And I'm saying all of this in the best way. Yeah, I really love the djembe. Maybe because of the sounding, what the djembe has is like a limitation in terms of the music that you can play. Yes, for sure you can adapt anything, any sort of music. You can find a way. Yes, but that African, that characteristic of African sound that the djembe has, is gonna bring people right to Africa. Yes. So that's why when you go and see, pop bands or funk bands or reggae bands, they use more congas and bongo, because it's kind of that sounds sweet better, the general sounding of those musical styles. Yes, what I mean? The rhythmics are gonna be Afro-rooted in both, in congas, in bongo, and in djembe. But the sounding of the congas and the bongo much better with the pop music, the funk music, or the Latin music for sure, no? But that world music requires. And also, there is also another fact that is important. That is, maybe bongo and congas, bongos are here, bongo and congas are more used in that, you can say, Afro-American music. Funk is an Afro-American style. Reggae is a Caribbean, but it's influenced by Afro-American music. Why conga and bongo are more used in there? Mostly in all the music that is created in the United States, is because when all those new rhythms or musical styles emerge, like Latin jazz, funk, blues, boogaloo, soul, and else, the percussionists that who live it in the States were basically Latin people who were born, in Cuba, Puerto Rico, Panama, Dominican Republic. What I mean is all the Latin Caribbean, for saying it in a way. And the instrument that they used to play was congas, bongo, and all the Afro-Latin or Afro-Caribbean rhythms. Instruments. So that's why maybe djembe is not that used also in pop music and all those styles. Basically, because djembe became famous or known a little later than those instruments, yes? But outside that, it's a great instrument that you can play. You can play, nowadays you're gonna find a lot of house, Afro house, electronic music, maybe drum and bass, in which the sounding of the djembe is used a lot, even more than the congas and the bongo. So today's class is focused on give you some clue to people who are starting from scratch, and at the same time bring some clarity or some options to those people who are starting to learn to play the djembe, but maybe they did that in a self-taught way using YouTube videos, but they get to a point in which they got stuck and they can move forward with it. Yes. So in here, what I'm gonna propose is an alternative way to start with the djembe that is gonna be using my learning method that I call the Percussion Code. Yes. I've been playing percussion for more than 25 years now, and I've been teaching almost from the same time, 22 or 20 years. And in that long path, I started, I faced different kind of students. I specialize myself in working with people who started from zero with any musical background, yes? And that require, in my point of view, a different approach, a different learning method. Yes, that may be the one that a musician, a guy that is skilled in music, know how to learn music or how to read music, and know how to play another instrument. When you're starting from scratch, and also when you do that as a grown-up, what I mean after the 20s, yes, you can do that 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and even have a couple of students that are in their 70s. You need to, or you're gonna find a couple of limitations that you need to work on in order for you to be able to move forward and learn to play any musical instrument. It is possible, but sometimes it's not possible just with a YouTube video or any material that you grab from the web. You need to do it in a more organized and with a more simple way to start. So the classic situation of students that write to my classes is people who find a video. I go one step before. They see somebody play the djembe. They develop the desire to play the djembe. So they bought the instrument and then went on YouTube and looked for how to play the djembe, rhythms to play the djembe, exercise to start playing the djembe. And they bump in a huge list of videos. And maybe they choose one because they like it, the thumbnail. And, sometimes that is trap because you dive in something and you're a beginner. So you don't have the knowledge or the criteria to decide which is the right video for you. And they start playing something. And most of the time when you find those kind of materials, what's happened is that the rhythm of the exercise that is being taught in the video maybe it's a little about of what you can play or you can understand. As a beginner, to be about that is kind of easy because you start from zero. What I mean is knowing nothing. So maybe you manage to play a couple of things that I was playing in the video, but you get to a point in which some of the stuff that is teach in there is out of your knowledge or your understanding. And then you get stuck, you get frustrated, and you start thinking that, okay, maybe choosing the djembe was a wrong decision, or the djembe is not for me, or I'm not good for music. I am not skilled enough to play percussion. So let me say to you that any of those thoughts are wrong. Yes, for me, I believe that percussion is from everybody, and anybody can play percussion. So, being that said, what I propose as a teacher now is a method that is different from those that maybe you're gonna find online, that propose you playing with the simple hand digitation and the simplest sounds that you can use to play the djembe. So let's focus first in the hand digitation. In general, when I watch videos on YouTube, I find a lot of people playing stuff in two ways. Or repeating hands, something like what I mean, I'm playing 2 times with my right, or I'm playing 2 rights, left, right, 2 right, left, right. That is not recommendable with many reasons. But the most important of all is that in order for you to play a percussion instrument, any percussion instrument, a djembe, a conga, a bongo, or a cajón, the first thing that you need to do is develop your 2 hands equally. What I mean is, by nature, we're gonna have a strong hand and a weak hand. If we are a righty, it's gonna be the right. If we're gonna be a lefty, it's gonna be the left. So our intent is gonna let me rephrase. So when we start playing an instrument from scratch, our first instinct is start playing that instrument, yes, using our strong hand. Yeah, and in that way, we're gonna try to solve everything that we need to play, or the difficult stuff that we need to play, using the right, yes, and we're gonna drag the left. So at the start, there are gonna be things that we can play with that logic, but we're gonna get to a point in which dragging with the left is not gonna be enough, and we're gonna get stuck. So instead of starting playing with double strokes, when you play 2 in the right hand, or repeat your right hand to play, I call it that hand digitation is the double stroke hand digitation. And for me, that is the last hand digitation that you need to learn on the djembe. Before that, you have many. You have 2. And the first one that I suggest you to use is one-on-one, in which you're gonna start playing. Yes, in this way. What I mean is, you're gonna use your 2 hands in the same way. And we're gonna do that basically, but because we're gonna look to connect our hand motion with something that we do organically, another motion that we do organically as a person, that is walking. When you walk, you alternate your foot, and in a way you don't think about what foot you're gonna use. You just say, I'm gonna go from this point to there, and you just go, and you go right, left, right, left, right, left, or left, right, left, right, left, right. There is no part of your brain that is thinking consciously about that. You're doing that unconsciously. What I mean is in automatic. So we are looking to achieve the same with our hands. So that's why we're gonna use the one-on-one hand technique to start. Yeah, so it's gonna be, we're gonna put some order to it. What I mean is, we're gonna start playing with the right hand, and it's gonna be right, left, right, left, right, left, all along without any sort of hand repetition. Yes, so it's gonna be. So we're not gonna use hand repetition, and we also not gonna use something that you're also gonna hear a lot in the djembe, that is the ghost notes. What I mean is, when you play the djembe, you can see stuff like this play. Yes, although I playing these notes, yes, below them I'm playing these. These are ghost notes. What I mean is there are notes that are they are more for a hand motion purpose than for a sounding purpose. So once again, this digitation is too difficult or too complicated for a beginner. Why? Why? Basically because it demands you to work or to have a control of your hand motions that allows you to play in two different volumes. You're gonna play really, really low when you play the ghost notes, and you're gonna play normally or a little higher when you play the accent. Yes? What I mean is I'm gonna play 4 notes. The first one is gonna be an accent, and the other 3 are gonna be ghost notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, so once again, it seems simple, but it is pretty difficult for someone who's starting from scratch. So to sum up, the first point, the hand technique, use the simplest one, that is 1 and 1. Yes, don't use double strokes. What I mean is don't play repeat in your hands, and also don't play using the ghost note hand technique. On the other hand, another criteria, yes, that I recommend you to use to start your learning path is try to play rhythms using just the 2 simplest sounds that you can play in the djembe. What I mean is, in the djembe you can play the low notes in the center, or the bass notes, that I call it tone, and then you can play the open, that is going to be the middle sound that you can play on the djembe. Yes, and I call it opens, but you can find a lot of people call it open tones. Yeah, so tone or bass notes and open or open tone. Just with those 2 sounds, it's more than enough for you to start playing, because at the beginning the developing coordination and rhythmic and musical skills playing the djembe requires a lot. So let's do it with simple 2s. 1 and 1 hand technique, and the 2 simplest sounds, tones and opens. Yes? So, and with those, maybe one question that arises is, okay, but if you play these 2 sounds, what other sounds are not playing it? Well, you have the ghost note that we talk about them, and also you have a sound, that is the slap. That is the sharpest sound that you can play on the djembe. That is a tricky one. Yes, what I mean is, it can be like a barrier that is gonna prevent you to make music with the instrument, because in my experience, what's happened when you teach the slap from the starting point is that people tend to focus more in that the slap is not sounding than what they can play using the other 2 sounds. So once again, simplest hand technique, 1 on 1, and the simplest and easiest sound, tone and open, and forget about slaps and ghost note. Yes, then when you develop your basic technical, rhythmical and musical skills, then you can incorporate the slap, and it's not gonna be that difficult, because you achieve it the other part, or the things that I mentioned. Yes, you played a lot of music that help you to develop your musicality and your rhythmic and tempo sense. So, being that said, let's start playing a couple of simple rhythms. The first one is going to be the easiest one. So this is going to be the point 3. Simple hand technique, simple sound and simple rhythm. Start simple. Don't make it complicated for you. So, to sum up, if you are trying to learn to play bongo, or you want to start, if you bump into a video that doesn't match these three criteria, simple hand technique, simple sound, and simplicity of the rhythm, move away from that video, because that video is gonna become like a trap. What I mean is, you are diving into something that in some point you're gonna get trapped, not being able to move forward, and in the end you're not gonna be making music with the instrument. So first rhythm, we're gonna start playing with the right hand, and it's gonna be tones with the right and open with the left. What I mean is pa ku pa ku pa ku pa ku. Okay, I count to 4 and we play together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, I have a guy who is from India. Thank you for your love, man. If you have any question, leave it in the comments, yes? So, that is the simplest rhythm that you can play on the djembe. Maybe I play it too slow. But you know, maybe if you want to play a rock song like Billie Jean, you can use this rhythm. What I mean is, you remember the bass? Or maybe what you can do is play a pretty traditional rhythm from the Colombian Caribbean, that is cumbia. I don't know if you heard about this rhythm. It's pretty popular over there, and it's gonna sound something like this. The rhythm is the same, and it can be used to play two different rhythms as rock and cumbia. One, two, three, four, stop. Okay, I have the first question. Can we start learning djembe, bongo, darbuka, congo all together? I like all the instruments, and I practice 1 day every day. 1 a day every day. So yes, it can be possible. Each individual part maybe is gonna be a little longer, yes, but you can find a couple of connections between exercises that you mentioned. For example, the hand technique that you use to play the djembe and you play the conga is gonna be the same. What I mean, you're gonna have opens in both, you're gonna have slaps in both, you're gonna have tones in both, and you're gonna have ghost notes in both, and maybe one thing that you're gonna play in congas, but it's gonna be mostly in rhythms that you play if you want to play salsa, is the double strokes. What I mean is the palm finger sounds. Yes, that belongs only to conga, because if you play them in here, they sound too much. Yes? So the hand technique that you can use to play congas and djembe is the same. So there is no problem to work on the two of them in a parallel way. Yes? What I mean is you can adapt rhythms from here to here and rhythm from here to here. Bongo is another word because it's played with fingers, but in a way connect with darbuka, that is played with fingers also. But what you need to take care is that the hand techniques in there is different, because in darbuka, maybe if you're playing in this way, your left hand is playing these two fingers, something that you don't play in the bongo. In the bongo, you just play with your index finger, and anything that you're gonna play using the index finger. So to sum up, you can do it, but you can do it with these ideas in mind, that conga and djembe are connected rhythmically, so you can play using the same hand techniques, and you can do that on bongo because the hand technique is different. So if you want to adapt rhythm from one to another, you need to work differently. And the same is going to happen with darbuka. And with darbuka and bongo, you can find some connections, but having in mind that the hand technique in a way is going to be different between each other. I hope that I answered the question. So going back to the rhythm, as I say, you can play this rhythm to play two different musical styles that are the rock rhythm, yes, and you can use it to play cumbia. So let's try to move on now and try to play the same rhythm over a house rhythm, yes, this over a house rhythm bass, and we're gonna try a different ways to change the rhythm and make it more interesting. Yes, so it's gonna be once again. I'm using the same rhythm and now I'm playing house music. 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. So when you play a rhythm over another instrument who's playing a rhythm, what you can do is you're welcome, man. If you have any question, leave it in the comments. So when you are playing a rhythm over another instrument that playing a rhythm, you can choose two ways to go. You can play homorhythmic. What I mean is playing almost the same. Yes, the rhythm that I'm playing matches what the drum set is playing. Or you can try to play polyrhythmic. What I mean is play a rhythm that in a way is going to be different from the one that is sounding. So what is going to sound by the combination is a new rhythm that combines those two rhythms. That's going to be polyrhythmic because it's going to be two different rhythms. So let's try something simple for start. We're going to move the second open half a bit lighter. So it's going to be pa, 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 pa. What I mean, instead of pa, 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 ku, pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, u, ku, pa, ku, pa, u, ku, pa, ku. Okay, let's try with the music. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you see, it's like, okay, the rhythm of the drums that goes alone, and there are some notes in which we go together, but some notes in which we play different stuff. That is how you turn something homorhythmic to something polyrhythmic. Yes? What I mean is two rhythms involved. Another way to do that is to play, maybe to play faster than the rhythm that is playing. What I mean is we've been playing pa, tu, pa, tu, but we can change to pa, tu, pa, tu, pa, tu. Yes? We're gonna have the same sequence of sounds or the same melodic structure. Yes, let's take a minute to talk about this. When you play rhythms in any percussion instrument, and you can use that as a concept, Animesh, if you're still there. When you play any rhythm in any of the percussion instrument I mentioned, I mean djembe, conga, bongo, and cajón, you're gonna be playing on one side a rhythm structure. The rhythm that we are playing is one hit per beat. Pac, tac, ta, 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 ta. That is the rhythm structure. And then you have the melodic structure that is a combination of sounds or notes. Yes, because you can say this is a low sound or a low note, and this is a high sound or a high note. So if I had more than one note and I combine it, I'm creating a melody. So each rhythm that you're gonna play is gonna have a rhythm structure and a melodic structure. So now in the first that we play one beat, yes, one hit per beat. Then we move on to change the second beat. So we change the rhythmic structure and melodic structure. And now we are doing the same. We're gonna play. We're gonna change the rhythm structure. Now we're gonna play 2 hits in each beat, and the melodic structure is gonna remain the same because we're gonna play all along. So that is gonna sound 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Yes. So let's play 4 of each to see the difference. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Yes? So you can see the difference. It's the second, the notes are shortened and they happen faster. Yes? In one I play 1 hit per beat, and in the second I play 2 hits per beat. Yes? So, being that said, let's go back to the first rhythm and try to keep the rhythm structure, but change the melodic structure. Now I'm gonna play tone, open, open, open. Okay, let's try with the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ba, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ba, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ba, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ba, ooh. Okay, I'm gonna count to 4 and we're gonna come back to the previous one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, so there you have it. Yes, we kept the rhythm structure and we changed the melodic structure, and we can do the same with the second rhythm. Yes, the original version was, yes, we changed the melodic structure to 2 hits per beat, and we kept the melodic structure. So now the melodic structure is gonna be 2 tones, 2 opens. Pa pa tu pu pa pa tu pu pa pa tu pu pa pa tu. And it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's try an exercise combining the 2 exercises. The one that we play, and the other, Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to 2, back to 2. When I count to 4, we go to the second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Papa, papa. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four, stop. So there you have it. Yes, we gonna create 4 rhythms, 5 if we can. Yes, but we're gonna stay with these 4. Number 1, what I mean is pack 2, sorry, pack 2, pack 2. Number 2, number 3, and number 4. So before we move on into the rhythm with which we're gonna end the class, let's set another concept with which I work in my method. That is the concept of rhythm cells. As I see it, any rhythm that you can learn to play on the djembe and any rhythm that you can create your own to play on the djembe is going to be built using small pieces of rhythm. So one small piece of rhythm can be, yes, that in fact, if you see closely, it's just tone, open repeatedly. Tone, open, tone, open, tone, open. That can be one little piece of rhythm or a rhythm cell. And then from there you can build different rhythms, different combinations. For example, the second rhythm that we create use pa, tu, but then use a different piece or a different rhythm cells. Tu, tu. So you can say that this rhythm, pa, ku, tu, ku, pa, ku, tu, ku, can be the combination of tone, open, open, open. And in here I'm gonna use like a metaphor or an image to help you understand the concept. You can say that this is a rhythm cell that you can resemble to a Lego piece. You know Lego, the toy that the children use to build stuff. So this little piece is a piece of Lego that you put together with this other piece of Lego and you create a rhythm. Yes? So having that in mind, the same is going to happen with the other two. Paku, 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 paku. Once again, this is this rhythm cell playing repeatedly but with a different rhythm structure. So it's a different rhythm cell. And in the second, we combine papa, tuku repeatedly. 2 tones, 2 opens, 2 tones, 2 opens. So we put together those parts, yes, and build the rhythm. So, for example, this rhythm, papa, tuku, you can break it and swap it. What I mean is you can play. Yes, let's try it over the bass. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four, stop. Yes, it sounds differently. So, if you think about rhythm in this way, any new rhythm that you want to learn or that you're gonna learn, or any rhythm that you want to create, is gonna be built using these little pieces. So if you focus on at the beginning, start learning these little pieces, then when you go to the more complex material, what I mean the African rhythm, the Brazilian, the Latin rhythm, you're gonna see that in the rhythm structure and the melodic structure of those rhythms, you're gonna find these little pieces. Maybe there's gonna be one that you don't know, but the rest of the rhythm you're gonna know. So solving the puzzle and playing it is gonna be easier. Yes. So I build a material of my own that I use in my online classes and courses, and I work with the student, and I can tell you that this simplifies a lot your understanding of rhythm and music. So to close, we're gonna combine all this rhythm in one big rhythm. So one of them is gonna be this one. Yes. So we're gonna play one time this. The second, then what we're gonna follow is gonna be. So it's gonna be pa ku pa ku pa ku tu ku pa ku tu. That is gonna be the first part of the rhythm. Let's play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, so pretty simple. And we're gonna have a second round of the rhythm that is gonna play. The first part is gonna be the same, pa, ku, pa, ku. But now the second part is gonna be pa, pa, tu, ku, pa, pa, tu, ku. What I mean is pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, pa, tu, ku, pa, pa, tu, ku, pa. Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the full rhythm is gonna sound like this. I show you and then we play together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, ku, tu, ku, pa, ku, tu, ku, pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, pa, tu, ku, pa, pa, tu. So let's play together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pa, ku, pa. One more round. Pa, ku, tu, ku, pa, ku, tu, ku, pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, pa, tu, ku, pa, pa, tu, ku. Okay, so there you have it. We play a lot of stuff in this class or in this lesson that it was pretty simple. What I mean is stuff that you can play if you're starting from scratch, and that's the right point to which you need to start, because when you play simple, you can be in control of everything that is happening. What's happening with your hands when you play. Yes, also what's happening with the rhythms. You can keep the pace. You can play over some instrument that is playing a rhythm, and you can listen to the instrument, listen to yourself, and ensemble with that, and keep your playing for a long pace. So, before we end this lesson, let's sum up. My method, the Percussion Code, propose you to start with the simplest hand technique, one-on-one, with the simplest sound, tone and open. Yes, with the concept of that rhythms are built by little pieces or rhythm cells or Lego pieces. Yes, what I mean is a rhythm is gonna have like a rhythm structure and melodic structure. So once that you find a rhythm structure that you like, you can try different sounds combinations like we did and create different rhythms. You don't need to know a lot of rhythms. What you need to do is try to use each rhythm that you know the most that you can, so you can get the most from each one of them. Yes? And last, try to start playing simple rhythms, simple music. Maybe the beginning is gonna be more homorhythmic, and then you're gonna change into something more polyrhythmic. Polyrhythmic tends to be a more difficult matter for beginners. So if you need to stay on the homorhythmic stage, stay as long as you need. Yes, also, that is something that is important and that rounded the idea around here. Embrace your own process. Yes, what I mean is something that's happened with the videos is that they're meant to be for an average person, but sometimes, you know, your learning process is different or requires different way to move on. So embrace and respect your own learning process. Don't worry about making mistakes. You're gonna make a lot. So forget about that and enjoy your learning process. So, being that said, I hope that you like the live. Stay tuned, because there are more live lessons like this ahead. So stay tuned. We're gonna be playing a lot of music from August and beyond. And well, if you find this video after I made it, and if you have any questions about it, leave it in the comments. I tend to check all the time what people ask me and I answer. So leave your question in there. I hope you like the video and you enjoyed and find it useful. If you like it, please subscribe and leave a thumbs up. And being that said, I hope I see you in the next video.